yazar ve bağımsız serbest gazeteci, Öğrenci İletişim Strateji Ajansı'nda strateji sorumlusu, Interview Turkey dergisi genel yayın yönetmeni, Harvard Üniversitesi Edebiyat ve New York Üniversitesi Uluslararası İlişkiler mezunu, bağımsız fotoğrafçı Sayın Lennart Surraville, Nazlı Angın eşliğinde değerli konuşmaları için sahneye davet ediyoruz.
Great introduction, isn't it?
Sesim evet geliyor. Hoş geldiniz, biz de hoş geldik. Bugün size Ian ve ben böyle yaratıcılıkla ilgili, iş hayatında bunu nasıl kullanacağımızla ilgili küçük küçük konuşmalar yapacağız. Ben küçük bir giriş yapacağım. Daha sonradan mikrofonu Ian'a devredeceğim. Mesela yaratıcılık nedir diye sorsam, neler dersiniz bana? Hiç fikri olan var mı? Var. Mesela herkes bir ürün diyebilir, bir düşünce diyebilir, bir meta elimizde tutabileceğimiz bir şey diyebilir. Ama aslında sadece bununla da sınırlamamamız gerekiyor. Çünkü bunların, bütün bu düşüncelerin, bütün bu yapılan icatların, bulunan, nasıl söyleyeyim, ürünlerin tek bir dayandığı bir nokta var. İhtiyaç. İnsanlar tarihin en başlarından beri kendi ihtiyaçları doğrultusunda bazı şeyler bulmaya, icat etmeye, geliştirmeye hep bu şekilde bir yol izlediler. İşte bu ateşi bulmak, arabayı keşfetmek, tekerleği bulmak. Bunların hepsi aslında hayatı bir şekilde kolaylaştırmak için yaptığımız şeyler. Önceden bazı konular hakkında bilgilerimiz oluyor. Bu bilgileri başka bilgilerle birleştirip elimizdeki ürünleri geliştiriyoruz. Bunlar için çözüm ararken, yani hayatımızda yaşadığımız sorunları kolaylaştırmak, kendimizi geliştirmek için bir sürece giriyoruz. Bu sürece de yaratım süreci diyoruz biz. Mesela aslında hiç fark ettiniz mi? Siz kendi hayatınızda bile hepiniz yaratıcılığı bir şekilde kullanıyorsunuz. Mesela şu an okuldayız, derslerimiz var, devamlı çalışıyoruz, üstesinden gelmeye çalışıyoruz. Ama hiç fark ettiniz mi? Derslerde başarılı olmanın 2 kere 2 4 gibi bir kuralı yok. Bazılarınız derste dinliyorsunuz, işte bazılarınız notlar alıyorsunuz, bazılarınız arkadaşlarınızla bazı şeyleri konuştuğunuz zaman daha iyi dersi anlıyorsunuz. Aslında siz kendi kişiliğinizin, kendinizi tanıdığınız için kendinize başarılı olmanın yaratıcılığını oluşturuyorsunuz. Çünkü mesela ben dersi okuyarak anlamıyorum. İlla derste dinleyeceğim ama başka biri notlar alıyor ve bu notların üzerinden geçerek yaratıcı oluyor, başarılı oluyor derslerde. Bu yüzden de biz kendi yaratıcılık yolumuzu bu şekilde oluşturuyoruz. Bu en basit örneği. Ya da şöyle bir şey söyleyeyim, insanlar hepimiz doğuştan aslında yaratıcılığa az ya da çok sahibiz. Fakat gerek ailelerimiz, gerek okulumuz, gerek iş hayatı, gerek de toplumun bizi kısıtlamasıyla yaratıcılığımızı biraz öldürüyoruz. Aslında burada şöyle bir sorun var, yanlış sorulara yanlış cevaplar arıyoruz. Mesela neler yapılabilir diye sormamız gerekirken ne yapmalıyım sorusuna dönüyoruz. Burada da geniş perspektifi, geniş sınırları kaçırıyoruz ve çok küçük bir alana fokuslanıyoruz. Mesela şöyle bir şey söyleyeyim. Geçenlerde bir araştırma yapıldı. Dünyanın en yaratıcı milletleri araştırıldı. Sizce listenin başında kimler vardır?
Türkler.
Nere? Kore, Çin, değil mi? Hani onları bekliyoruz. Ama şöyle bir şey var, yapılan listede birinci sırada İrlandalılar, ikinci sırada Amerikalılar, üçüncü sırada Almanlar. Hayır, İtalyanlar. Kendilerini en yaratıcı olarak görüyorlar. Peki listenin sonunda kim vardır? Türkiye. Emin misiniz? Çok çok komik, listenin en sonunda Kore ve Japonya var. Çok Çok enteresan değil mi? Peki bu sizce Batı'nın muhteşem yaratıcı hani olduğunu ve Doğu'nun da hiç yaratıcı olmadığını mı gösterir? İşte burada ne biliyor musun? Aslında yanlış değil. Şöyle tamamen bakış açısı, yargılama ya da kriterler farklı. Şöyle bir örnek vereyim. Bu araştırmadan sonra bir Amerikalıya sordum. Sence sen yaratıcı mısın? Bana şöyle baktı. Sonra abisine baktı. Ya tabii yaratıcıyım dedi. Sonra aradan birkaç zaman geçti. Bir Koreli ile konuşuyoruz. Sordum ona, sen yaratıcı mısın? Düşündü. Dedi ki, Leonardo da Vinci kadar değil. Şimdi burada anlatmak istediğim bakış açıları ve yargılama kriterleri. Şimdi hem bir Koreli hem de bir Amerikalı olan sevgili iş partnerim İlna mikrofonu devrediyorum. Teşekkür ediyorum.
Thank you. I think I made myself a great introduction when I first came out here. Very clumsy man, actually, I am. Unfortunately, I don't have a brother, so even though I'm American, I have no one to compare to. I am ethnically Korean. My parents are Koreans. So I guess, you know, since you're in university, you're probably familiar with average. Third place and the last place combined together. I'm probably in the middle somewhere, in the creativity. But anyway, actually, I work with Nazlı here, and probably she is the creative brain of our company. My name is Yalman of Surraville, and I actually am Chief Strategy Officer of the MG, Communications Strategy Agency here in Ankara. And we mainly deal with the communications. And today, actually, when I was, can you hear me properly? Today, when I was asked to speak with you, the students here, I was a little worried. Like, in what way, or in what perspective can I bring any kind of enlightenment or something new for you to share with? And one thing that I wanted to bring to you after thinking about this particular speech, I want to talk about the reality, the experience from the reality, the actual business world, what I'm dealing with, and then I share with you, and probably try my best to poke your little academic bubble to see if you can actually cope with what's out there. My topic today is about the role of humanity, the humanities, and what they mean and their need in the fourth industrial revolution that we're facing. How many of you heard the word fourth industrial revolution or 4IR? Quite some of you. Can you tell me what they are? It's okay, you can speak in Turkish and you can translate it, right? Yes. Okay. Making digital environment. Okay. Did I understand this correctly? Can you say that? Can you translate that for me a little bit?
Yes, I hope so. He was talking about digital environment?
Digital environment, I understood that part. What's the next part? No,
Are you talking about IR?
Yes, speak Turkish, it's no problem.
Sen Türkçe söyle. Biz çevirelim. Endüstri devrimi. 4. endüstri devriminden bahsediyor. Tamam, neyle başladı diyor, yani ne olduğunu biliyor musunuz diye sordu. 4. Endüstri Devrimi, 4. nesil. Bunu bilmiyorsun, he doesn't know.
Okay. Anybody who would like to give your own definition of 4th Industrial Revolution? Yes, go ahead. Artificial intelligence. Okay, thank you. It's still in the progress, right? Yes. Aristotle, in metaphysics, he says one very important thing, actually in his diagnosis of human thoughts and minds and how things are being progressed. He says, those who wish to succeed, must ask right preliminary questions. Do we understand each other in this phrase? Let me repeat one more time. Those who wish to succeed must ask right preliminary questions. So today, what we're going to do, you and I, is that we're going to ask questions together. I'm not some guru or prophet or seer who's going to give you right answer. I'm going to reflect my questions through my experience, and feel free for you guys to jump in. And I think I asked for microphones. Anybody who wants to ask questions, just cut me off and do it. Since we're talking about communications and creativity, I don't like one-way conversation. One-way conversation is no conversation, right? So, let me tell you something funny though. When I was in university, back in 1990s, some of you were not born actually. There was one interesting class in America that was, what was it? Marriage and happiness, something like that in the class. But one lesson that I remember, it was talking about communication between couples, the married couples, okay? And one of the definition, one of the reasons why the marriages can work or cannot work is because of the communication, the efficiency between husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, The communication issue is the most important factor that determines whether that relationship will last or not. Makes sense, right? Next sentence, he says, because of this factor, interracial and intercultural couples have least successful rate of having a lasting, happy relationship. The reasons are language problems, cultural problems, etc., etc. They have a whole chapter dedicated to it. If that statement is true, my fellow students, if that statement is true, then it's like kind of philosophical, exegesis here. If A is B, then B must be C, right? You understand this simple concept, right? So if that statement is true, that means all of you who are in a relationship in which Turkish is common language should never have a single problem. Now, tell me, those of you who are in marriage and relationship, how many of you can say that your relationship has zero problem? Raise your hand. According to that statement, if I speak the same language with my spouse or my girlfriend, and if I share the same cultural, political background, or societal background, or family background, that we eat kebab every day. We prefer Iran. If we fit ourselves into that little diagrams of equations, that means I will never have a communication problem. Such a blatant lie of 1990s, isn't it? It's a lie, isn't it? We know it doesn't work like that. For some reason, there are many intercultural, interracial couples out there who are absolutely happy, even when they don't speak each other proper languages. I actually seen many of them, actually. Some of my Korean friends who are not very fluent in English fell in love with this beautiful American woman. And then, in their house, they developed their own language. What is that? Broken English. But trust me, they communicate perfectly. So let me ask you, and it should probably pique your curiosity as it did for me at the time. What do you think is that thing, whatever it is, that exists between my friend who doesn't speak English properly and my friend's spouse who doesn't understand his English? What makes them to have perfect communication that they can transcend each other's emotions and feelings and perceptions? What do you think it is? Love, respect.
They understand each other like that. They acceptance.
Acceptance. Acceptance.
Patience.
What else?
Patience.
What?
Patience.
Patience. What else?
Logics.
Logics. Might work. Are you in a relationship? I can tell. Yes. What else do you have there, you think? Pardon? Trust. Yes. All those things are right. Logics included. I was just kidding. All those things combined together, I say compassion. There's a human character, isn't it? It's distinctly human characteristic. We're compassionate about things that do not come to perfect life. Things that are not perfect. We know that our boyfriends pick their nose as soon as they get up. We still love them. We know all the disgusting habits of our, significant others. We still love them. We know the weaknesses of our friends. When they fail, when they become weak, when they cannot resist that one more glass of Akın, even though it's enough. When they go one more club after 3 a.m. on Saturday night, let's go home one more time. We hate that, we love that person. Our mother and father, let's go back to our parents. Don't you hate them? I asked one of the teenagers to define what your parents sound like. 3 simple words, blah, blah, blah. That's it. Because they say something right? We all know that they say something right. But then, when we hear that, what do we hear? It's a background noise. When we do whatever we want to do, So, this is a communication level that we don't see the person in perfection, in perfect state. My father is not perfect father. My mother is not perfect mother. My brother is not perfect. Brothers and sisters, they're never perfect. But the teachers, and especially our loved one, our relationship-wise, they're not perfect. They're too tall, too short, too fat, too thin, and they don't know how to dress, horrible taste of your boyfriend's fashion statement, or your girlfriend talking too much. I don't know why we have this kind of conversation, by the way. Man, let me address this something. Why do you think your girlfriends talk too much? Do you have a girlfriend? How many of you have a relationship or girlfriend or in a marriage? Okay. Do you think that your girlfriends talk too much? Okay, don't say that.
Topa girmeyin bence.
Anyway, all these blemishes and uncertainties and things like that combined together in certain category for us, our reality is not perfect, right? Then we still love it. And where do we strive for that? So, having that thought, let's switch our gear a little bit. When I was growing up, my great uncle participated in the Korean War, which lasted from 1950 to 1953. He's an old man. He likes to play chess with me while he's drinking the Korean soju. I don't know whether any of you know this. The rice one, very strong, 40 degrees. So he's drinking wine, playing chess, and tells me, "You're so stupid. You'll never be smart like me." These uncles can talk shit about you. And then all of a sudden he breaks out this hum, and listen carefully. I'm going to hum it right now. We all know this song, don't we? I didn't know this. I have absolutely zero idea about this song. I did not know where it came from. I did not know who sang this song. I did not know the meaning of this song. Zero, nothing. I sit there, 8, 9-year-old Ian, mesmerized, listening to that song. Somehow, sitting in front of him, listening to my great uncle hum that song, made me think about something that I could not understand. Have you ever had a feeling in your life? You don't have any clue, you don't have any idea, you don't have any prior knowledge about these things, but somehow, when you encounter it, you feel something in the very depth of your soul. Have you had that experience in your life? An encounter that makes you feel something otherworldly, that projects you out of this present state. You're somewhere else. You're feeling something that you never felt before. What is that? What is that?
Passion.
Say that again?
Passion.
Passion. Okay? What else can that be?
Confession.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you clearly.
Confession.
Confession. Both.
Not confession. Passion. I'm trying to say patient.
Patience. Okay? Something, isn't it? I don't want to put exact word to it. It might be passion. It might be patience. What else? What else can it be? But something is there. Something that unites my great uncle who fought alongside Turkish soldiers during the Korean War So all kinds of casualties and death and wounds and, you know, atrocities of war can produce, especially back in 1950 when Korean War was happening, the state that Turkish soldiers were in, unspeakable sacrifice that Soviets made for a tiny little country that had never hurt us, thousands of miles away. Okay? So, in that state, something that they heard gave them what? Some sort of meaning. Probably my great uncle did not even understand the meaning of these words, or the meaning of this music, right? He adapted that humming. And when he was humming that song to me, born in 1974, have absolutely no idea about what the war is all about. What happened? I began feeling his emotion, right? How does that work? So, back to the present time. We're talking about fourth industrial revolution. We're talking about artificial intelligence. We're talking about robotics. We're talking about big data. You all heard about these things, right? You all heard about how these things will change our future. Not only future, but our present time as well. As a couple of years ago in Harvard Business Review presented, about 80 to 88% of the jobs that's known right now in the market will disappear, will be taken over by machines and robots. 80 to 80% of jobs that you know. 8 out of 10 jobs that you know will disappear. What are you studying now? Industrial engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, software engineering. What else? Information system, what? Mechatronics, okay? Computer, psychology, architecture, energy systems. All those things. Any English literature student? Language students? No? Art? No? Okay. All these things that you are studying right now to be proficient and to be an expert by the time that you graduate, the things that will shape your future once you graduate, they once, based on that, then you're going to build your dream life. How many of you are thinking of building a dream life right now? After graduation? Okay, come on. Thank you. You're being so honest. Yes. I'm still trying to build my dream life. I don't know why you guys are not. But yes, so we are trying to build our future successfully, okay? With merits, with integrity, with honor. We want to build this kind of future for us. And what we study right now in the university matters, right? Because it is a foundation from which your future will be built. But what if that future is not available? The future that you're thinking right now is not available anymore. Where do we go? My humble suggestion, if it comes from, you must go back to ask this question and seek answers with the criteria of creativity. Remember last year? A shock wave went through. It's like a hurricane in Asia. I don't know how strongly it was felt in Turkey, you know. But in America and Asia, it was like a little tornado actually swept through and left the carnages behind. What is it? Go game between the Chinese, Japanese, and Korean top Go player. You know what Go game is? Yes. One of the most intricate board game that human beings ever invented. A Go game was held between some of the top players of the world against artificial intelligence developed by Google's DeepMind project. What's the result? Human beings, out of each set of 3 games, or 5 games that they played, human beings won 1 game. 1 game they won. That's it. You literally saw these top Go players of the world in tears. And we began questioning this one critical question, and which I'm asking you right now. I'm asking you to ask this question with me. What is the difference now that this happened? What is the difference between human mind, your mind, and the mind of a machine? Self-learning? Let me get back to self-learning. This AI machine, once the data was placed in their little computer, the program, every other moves after that initial programming was self-taught. So machines have self-learning ability. So what's the difference? Emotions, as you can tell by some of the other advanced AI robotics right now, can be better intelligent. They can have an emotional conversation. Remember that movie where this AI voice becomes this man's girlfriend? Who comes out of that movie? Do you know? Do you know this movie? This voice becomes something like fascinating. The embodiment of emotions may not be there, can be there. Yeah, her. Yes, thank you. What else is different between human mind and machine? Creative? Initiative. Thank you. So it can begin something, right? It can start something on its own, right? We're there. What else do we have? Huh? How do you define creativity? Tell me.
Thinking of something or building something which did not exist before, using the knowledge that came before.
How many times human beings have created something out of nothing? Tell me.
Not out of nothing. I said based on the knowledge that came before.
So we are based on something in the past to create something, right?
Yeah.
So is it creation? Okay. Who disagrees with that? It's okay to agree, it's okay to disagree. I'm asking questions together. Thank you, by the way. So, creation. In our long history of advanced learning, we somehow forgot what creation really does for us, didn't we? How many of you chose your major because you really wanted this major? Raise your hand. How many of you consulted before you made this decision with your parents or your friends or your brothers or your uncles, whoever? How many of you chose your major right now as a result of the influence of your consulting with so-and-so? Raise your hand. Nobody? Oh, great. This is beautiful. How many of you chose this current study because you wanted to earn money? It's nothing to be ashamed of. Please be honest about it. Okay, good. How many of you will continue to study this if it doesn't have a prospect in the future? Brave souls here. Almost like artists. And my respect for you. Thank you. Things that we choose to do, things that we choose to study, things that we choose to do to be successful, right? Somehow we live in the latest century where it has formulas, don't we? Like for example, let's be really honest about this. At a certain class of your study, and a certain professor, they have certain formula of giving an exam. Yes or no? Professor so-and-so has his own way of giving an exam, right? You know who they are. So, instead of being a smart student as you are, instead of studying the subject matter as deeply as you should, I use the word should. What do? You try to come up with counter strategy to overcome what kind of trick that your professor can pull on you, and therefore you understand the mechanics of his questions, right? From what book, from what lecture, from what things that he's going to derive these questions and give an exam questionnaire. Therefore, what do? You study only the essential exam questions. Did you? Yeah? Isn't that a little like a skill that you learn after 2-3 years in the university, how to get the high score, high grades of your class, right? It is a mechanism that we master. We apply that. And human beings, human behavior, why do we stay with that certain mechanism? What's the reasoning behind staying with the mechanism? Why are we doing something? Let's say that I did something, I say something, I made you laugh, right? What is the possibility that I'm going to say the same thing, thinking that I'm going to make her laugh? Almost 99%. I'm going to do the same joke because why? I had experienced my joke with this person and it worked, right? She laughed. Therefore, I think when I meet a new person, I'm going to go to her, say the same joke, and I expect same laughter, same reaction, doesn't it? What we did in the past, if it was successful, whether by the right solution or wrong solution, it doesn't matter. If it succeeded for you, if it attained the end aim, end goal of what you wanted to do at the time, it worked, then what do? Next time, you repeat the mechanism. Thinking, expecting that it will happen again. Something that Einstein said famously, right? If I drop the ball on the ground 99 times, what makes me think that on the 100th time, that you will go opposite direction? But what if the 99th time? What if on the 100th time also, that you will go? You'll defy the gravity. You never know, right? Until you try. But then we always fall into the concept of repetition, of success. Therefore, we will repeat that. So how is your education designed? It's designed by the people who succeeded in your field, isn't it? Your professors are the people who are very successful in your field. They are eminent. Their knowledge is superior. They know how it worked. They know how they got here from the beginning. Therefore, they're there to give you the path and knowledge and experience with you, right? I'm speaking with you because I probably have some experience in the past that made me successful in my own field. Therefore, I'm speaking on behalf of you to share my knowledge and experience with you, right? Forget it. Not happening. We're talking about grade. Every single one of you right now, sitting in this auditorium, has a very, very grave responsibility not only to yourself, but the people next to you, and to entire humanity. It's time for you to really ask questions what you really want, what you what makes you stand out. Since 1990s, Lexus, the car company, which is Toyota's special branch, Lexus has been building a car fully automatic with robotics. You know that, right? Everyone knows that. Now, almost 80% of automobile industry are using robotic assembly line. They don't use human hands. Why? Human hands result in human errors. How many of you are willing to pay 500,000 US dollars to buy Lamborghini or Porsche and experience the inconvenience of human error of red light or orange light blinking on your dashboard? How many of you want that kind of experience? Nobody. Therefore, they're going for perfection, right? Something that's completely without human error. Can you compete with that? And question this in a grand economical sense. Can Turkish workers in the factory assembling these kind of things on behalf of Hyundai, Kia, or Ford right now, right? Or Renault, can they compete with these robotic machines that putting things in place in a precision way? Can they compete with that? So, assembly runs the car, isn't it? It is a formidable foe that we are facing, that we actually created our own enemies. Out of our own weakness and out of our own uncertainty, we created these things. Is it bad? No. Is it good? Not sure. What will it exactly do for us? We're still in the trial stage. It's a strange, scary, unpredictable, uneasy state. But, what do they say? The end of opportunity, the end of one era is opening of a whole new era. Opportunity always comes with critical position in history. And you are at that enthusiastic and exciting moment right now where your mind and your creativity can bring something into this society that you've never done before. Let me ask you, how many of you are actually reading books? Great, thank you. How many of you are reading books that are not related to your field? Great, great. I mean, I'm not talking about movies or Netflix version of that novel. Actual books. Let me tell you something about that. I'm not against Netflix version or movie versions of the novel, okay? I'm not one of those academic scouts that, oh, you just watch the movie, it's, you're worthless. No. It's a beautiful thing, But when you watch a movie, when you watch a Netflix drama of that particular story, what are you doing to yourself? You decided to accept someone else's opinion, someone else's perspective, someone else's interpretation of that work as authentic version of that work, right? You never went to be the authentic own interpreter, viewer, perspective giver of their work, right? So people who read Anna Karenina, for example, are quite different than those who watch the movie Anna Karenina where Sophie Marceau comes out as a main character, isn't it? Why? Those who watch the movie watch the perspective and interpretation of this book rather than the book itself. But why is it important that somebody like me, who is in the actual field of communications where I deal with the government officials, government organizations, and private companies, big and small, advise them on what they need to do next as a strategist. Do you understand what I mean? Why am I asserting this nonsensical thing right now in your own view? Why shouldn't I be talking about 6 different steps to make certain communication effective? Why am I not talking about 3 ways of, make yourself a great, successful person after you graduate? Why am I not talking about 10 different methodologies to go as a step as to how to attain your future happiness? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about here something nonsensical, abstracting. Music, literature, art, our relationship, how we communicate with our spouses and our significant other. What the hell is he talking about? Probably you're sitting there. These things that I just talked about is what in 20th century, and 19th century, and 18th centuries considered as human weaknesses. Human beings are irrational beings. Do we acknowledge that? Do we agree that we are irrational beings?
Yes.
We are unreasonable, aren't we? We're irrational. How many of you screamed at your spouse with a choked up Tyson after you try to explain something like for 2 hours, and that person's like, huh? What are you talking about? Idiots. You just scream, you're so stupid, and you shut the door behind you and walk out, and you don't talk for about 3 days. But this irrational, unpredictable nature of us, something that we feel the opposite, and something that we feel, as earlier that we talked about, as we feel being compassionate, feeling compassion toward the people who are, in general, in our logical mindset, that cannot accept, cannot embrace, cannot help. Those people, that kind of trait is what makes us human, isn't it? We are human because we make those weaknesses. We're human because we possess those weaknesses. And that's the difference between you and machine. Let me tell you, machines can feel like, they can act like human beings. Right? Machines process information like human brain. Machines speak. They modify, they imitate like human voices. They act, they process different things. They assemble, they make, they produce. They find things for you. They find the next kebab place, nearest kebab place. When you are at 3 o'clock on the Saturday night, you want to eat durum, right? Am I right? Or cockroach? Whatever your preference is. They show you, right? You don't have to call your best friend anymore or wake your mother or no. You can just find it. Machines can do these things for you. Even though they can do like they can even act like they feel pain, right? Or offended. Have you ever insulted Siri on iPhone? I have many times. She acts indignant, right? I feel so humiliated that you're asking the dumbass questions. You've heard that before. But they can act like it, but they really feel it. Human beings, we feel suffering. Human beings, we feel true shame. How many of you actually watched this movie? This movie called, I made a little note. I'm a little. At midnight. Can I read my own handwriting? So, A Midnight Clear. It's a 1992 movie that came out in 1993. How many of you were born before 1993? Or after, I'm sorry. Okay, so probably you don't know. There's a little story about the American reconnaissance group during the World War II in Ardennes region of France, between France and Germany. they encountered, you know, stranded German army group during the Christmas. They are instructed to destroy each other completely and secure the area, right? So as a soldier, what do? You do follow your order, right? You must, when they see each other, must kill each other, destroy each other, right? This movie shows something else. When they see each other in hunger, in cold, in thirst, in desperation of basic human emotions and commodities, food, warmth, not only that, not only physical things, but emotional things, embrace, understanding, friendship, a communication with somebody who can understand the same position that they are in, right? That's why some of you will go to the army soon. When you go to the army, let's say that you're from Ankara or Istanbul, you'll meet somebody from Kars, somebody you never thought that you would share any kind of, not even a single second of your life together, sitting in the same stinking barrack, smelling like shit because you've worked all kinds of things, sweaty, dirty. You communicate. Why? Because you and he are in the same situation. You understand each other. So in this little theater, this movie, what happens? The Germans and the American soldiers, they begin exchanging something with each other. And then they spend the Christmas together. In the movie, there's a scene where it ends up people singing Christmas carols together, back and forth. Enemy soldiers. Can machines do that? Can machines, when they were instructed a certain order, take that order, process it, and thinking that it might be applicable to this A situation, but it might not be able to apply to a B situation. Why? This B situation, even though situation A and situation B might be looking very similar, right? In a war, in a combat situation, enemies, right? They must destroy each other. So very similar situation, but when they process situation A with this order, what they do with A and what they do with B can be different, but human beings can do that, can we? We can forgive, can we not? We can forgive our boyfriend. How many times he commits stupid, same mistakes? Right? We forgive again and again and again and again. Our mother, dealing with our bullshit for the past 18 to 20 years, based on your knowledge and age, what does he do? What does she do? She accepts you, doesn't she? Unconditionally. Can machine do that? Can machine ever understand that? And where does that come from? How many of you understand the word nostalgia? Nostalgia. Nostalgic. English word, nostalgia. What is nostalgia? Nostalgia is almost 90% of what we do in the decision making. Did you know that? 90% of your decision in your daily life is made because of nostalgia. It reminds me of Atatürk, therefore I choose this. I'm nostalgic about the past. It reminds me of my ex-lover, whom I dearly love, that I'm not with, but that color reminds me, therefore I'm going to buy something in that color. Does it make sense to you? Is it rational decision? No, right? But nostalgia makes you do something. I like this particular brand of iron. Maybe, scientifically speaking, iron from brand A, iron from brand B has absolutely no difference in actual taste in terms of distinction. But why? We buy certain brand of iron. Or when we go to liquor store, what do? I want Yeni Rakı. Why? I don't know. Maybe there are other brands of Rakı, but the Yeni Rakı label, that gives me a connection with something that I have in the past. Do you understand this feeling? It's something we should never get. Most of the humanities study, what are the humanities? Psychology, right? English literature, French literature, music, art, fine art, writing, creative writing, crafting. All these things are based on human nostalgia and emotional creativity. Human weaknesses. And who better speaks about this kind of being human with the humanities? You probably thought, or you probably are brought up in the education system, society system. If you are engineering, you need to read literature. What you need to do is do math, physics. And you can get into university. You can just continue on. Numbers are your best friend. How many of you heard that from your teachers or your parents? No? Wow. Okay, second question. Okay. But that's a lie, isn't it? We still have the craving inside us, isn't it? We still process our information. What's the meaning of the number? Those who are here studying mathematics, pure mathematics, I'm not talking about quant, no? Physics?
Matematik, fizik, mali.
Physics? No? How about statistics? Anyone study statistics? How many of you actually studied these subjects? Raise your hand. High school and university. Mathematics, physics, statistics, anything related to numbers. What are the numbers? What are numbers without meanings behind it? Have you ever thought about that? What are the numbers that does not give you a definition of what your life is right now? From the measurement, to distance, to capacity, or counting, it means something, right? Election is all about numbers, isn't it? We just merely count the head of the people who voted for a certain candidate. At the end, that number is the meaning of the future of your country, isn't it? Those kind of meanings. Yes, numbers may belong to mathematics. But the meanings that we apply to those numbers, where does it belong? It belongs to humanities. That's why, even though you think that Anna Karenina is some sort of stupid woman's story who at the end throws herself between the train rails and kills herself, we get a line something like this, and tell me if you're not surprised. He who desires the results accepts the means of obtaining it. Do you want to read it again? He who desires a result accepts the means of obtaining it. Not Karl Marx, not Albert Einstein, not Jean-Paul Sartre. Leo Tolstoy, through an idiotic man who's thinking of divorce, said this in Anna Karenina. This kind of perception, this kind of perspective, this kind of understanding of how human mind and human heart actually work, it cannot be copied, it cannot be reproduced,